Does it work?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, great. So here we are.
Yes, just changing rooms. Okay.
So Telma, you are welcome to intervene anytime you find it appropriate.
It's okay. Thank you, Michael. Thank you. And good luck.
You're welcome.
Thank
welcome.
you, and for you too.
Yes. Okay.
Good morning, Thelma. So you woke up early, no? I guess.
I think Thelma was working with Mikhail very long night. Huh? They were working hard.
I must say that for these last 3 nights, I don't sleep.
Oh, God.
And Michael
wow.
the same.
Oh, wow.
Hello, Helen.
Hi,
Hello.
Thelma. Hi, Michael. Hi, Javier.
Hello, hello.
And everybody
evening,
else
Helen.
who I can't
Hi,
see
Justin.
there.
Hi.
Hey.
Justin. Hello, Justin.
Justin, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. And you?
Hi, Helen, Thelma, Michael,
Well, thank you for your
Javier,
break.
Hi, Eduardo.
Victor.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello. Can recognize your voice everywhere. Okay.
So we have many people already, I guess.
43, 44. Yeah, it's 5 minutes we can start, I guess. Hello, John. Hi, Rita.
Hi everyone. Hi
Hello,
Thelma.
Rita.
Hello, Rita.
Rita, how are the grandchildren?
Growing.
Great.
4 of
Okay.
them.
Well, mine the same because they were born almost the same time.
Yeah. The oldest is a grown man, I would say.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And Ana Luisa, a grown woman now. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm just going to open something. Then go.
Hi, Ricardo.
Ricardo.
Yes, Thelma and
Yes.
Michaela, you're ready, I guess. Yeah.
Well, we have to be ready.
It's only 1 hour. It's not so. All right. More seriously, so welcome to the last session of the 17 lead reviewers meeting. Thank you for attending so far, and or although along this week there is only one rest day on Wednesday, and the plan now in the agenda is that we closed the sessions, the lead reviews meeting. But yesterday there was a slight delay in the limited number of sub-paragraphs, and there was I think there was a good progress with many of the paragraphs being clean and agreed by the group, but there was a few paragraphs, and this is 8A, 8B, 8C, 8D, and 8D. Yeah, and
8C as well.
F. I'm sorry, F. And then so there was I mean, we had to continue the discussions, but we have 1 hour and we still need to close. So Thelma and Michael, I'll give the the floor immediately to you, but just ask you, request you, and encourage us, whatever you want, to take the time efficiently and consider the time limits because of people living in New Zealand, in Philippines, in China, and Japan, and Australia, and which they're almost in the 3rd of July, and then we don't want to go to the 3rd of July. So without more ado, please use the chat. The hand raising, raising your hands, listen to the co-facilitators because they have very specific guidance on that. And if you have technical issues, use the chat. If you have any other comments that you don't think you have to address the plenary, use the chat. So I don't know which one of you, Michal or Telma, wants to start. So, and good luck, and we're here to support you. And for the others, maybe it's better just to focus on Michal and Telma. If you could turn off your cameras, and then in the end, when going to adopt, then we can bring the cameras back. So thank you very much, and let's start. I don't know who is starting.
Yeah, I think I will start, but anyway, Telma may wish to complement any time she finds it appropriate, and I would kindly ask Vitor to control the time, because we still have 5 paragraphs and we still have to finalize. Do you hear me?
Yes, of course, yeah. I do.
Okay.
I do.
And we still have to finalize 5 paragraphs, and also we need to have the formal closure of the meeting. So quite a lot of work ahead of us. And at the very beginning, I would like to emphasize that Telma and we have been working yesterday for quite late, and we started our work today quite early in the morning, and we still had substantial discussions on the paragraphs that we have in front of us. And that is somehow the reason why we were not able to send any conclusions that have been agreed, any paragraphs that have been agreed before, because we still were working on the text, and basically that is a matter of procedure. As you know, at the previous meetings, we did not provide any unfinished product to the people, and we would kindly ask, Telma and I would kindly ask you to consider this as sort of a technical break. I mean, yesterday and today as a technical break, and we still have the same ongoing final lead reviewers meeting. That is the reason why we didn't provide the half-finished document, and we do apologize and hope for your understanding. Okay, so with this, let us start. And I would like to start with paragraph 8F. As you remember, it was made pink because we got the comments on it from...
Michael, sorry to interrupt. Do you want us to do something like showing the document on screen, or...?
Yes, I would kindly ask you to show the document on screen, but the version that we ended up yesterday, and you can see the paragraph 8F in the frames, and that was actually where we stopped yesterday.
May I just provide an explanation? So this is the text that you see in the screen. We just took the comments in all the adopted paragraphs. So we clean it, and we took all the track change modes from the adopted paragraphs, and we highlight ones that were not adopted with this frame. Thank you. That's the only thing.
Okay, thank you very much, Vitor, for your clarification. And as you remember, the concerns were with the stroken lines, the text that is struck out. But as the co-facilitator proposals, Thelma and I, we would propose to remove the entire brackets and the text inside the brackets. So that is our proposal for paragraph F. And we believe that this helps to understand the paragraph, and the paragraph could be retained as it is without these brackets. Any views on that? I see Rita raising her hand.
I'm fine with deleting the text, but I would prefer deleting this whole text, because this whole recommendation that we are now doing, or conclusion, is contradictory to some conclusions we have made earlier, that insignificant issues should not be raised in the Saturday paper. That is the reason.
May I?
Yeah.
And thanks, Rita, and I'm sorry. Yes, we have 1 hour today. So Michael and I are really bringing some of our proposals. Obviously, we may not be perfect, but we are trying our best. So what we potentially we will have to do, we are not going to have time to discuss the paragraphs. We have 5 paragraphs in less than 1 hour now. We have 50 minutes. So the idea is to show our proposal, and if we see hands up in our proposal, then I don't think we are going to have, because this is the simplest paragraph we had. So others are going to be much more complex, I guess, in terms of a proposal for the way forward. So the idea is that if we cannot agree, then we are going to delete the paragraph, and then we may signal at the end that we are going to come back to these issues later on in the next lead reviewers. But unfortunately, we have 5 paragraphs. So if there is no agreement by one person on the text that we are presenting, then we are deleting it. So this is the way forward. We are not opening for discussions of any paragraph. So if there is one hand up saying that I cannot accept this, the paragraph entirely goes. So please think twice before putting your hand up to see if it is worth leaving with what you have, to give guidance to the lead reviewers, or if it's better not to give any guidance this year, and then we take this issue next year again. So sorry, because this is the virtual meeting, we have a limited time, and so I hope that you can understand the difficulties here. So if Rita says she cannot live with this paragraph, it's not only on the issue of deleting it's not only this issue of deleting this, but other inconsistencies that she finds with other conclusions. So I will take her approach and delete this entire paragraph. We are taking no.
Tell me, Michael. I don't know if you can take 1 second just to look at the chat, and there's many people expressing support to delete the paragraph.
Yeah,
Okay.
I noticed the text, the chat, and I see that a lot of people are proposing to delete the paragraph. And the only person who just raised his hand is Marcelo. So let me give the floor to Marcelo, and then we will.
I didn't raise my hand. Sorry.
Oh, you didn't raise? Oh,
No,
okay.
no. I used the chat only. Thank you.
Okay. As Thelma said, we had a lot of discussions on these issues, and we indeed do not have enough time. At the same time, we do understand that these are very important issues of the consistency, which have been brought on board by the lead reviewers and which have been raised during the reviews and consistently are rising during the reviews. That is why they have been considered here. If we do not have the agreement, we drop paragraph F as a whole. We don't have paragraph F in our conclusions, but as Telma indicated, we reserve the opportunity to revisit this issue at the next meeting because we do believe that it's quite important. So the paragraph F is gone. At least for me, it's very good. As you remember, I am fond of deleting something to make the text not so long. Anyway,
we just deleted. Sorry, Michael, we just deleted the text, but I see the request by Newton. I don't know, Newton, if you heard the beginning of the meeting that it was a suggestion by the co-facilitators not to raise the hand for express your views, and if just to agree, you can just say it in the chat.
Oh, it's not just to agree. I'm.
Newton, go ahead. Sorry.
Yes. Sorry, the co-facilitator, but I'm everyone in the facilitator's hands, and
so let me reinforce again the issue. I'm sorry, we thought this was a closing session, and then we had only 1 hour. So, facilitators, Michael and I have discussed a lot to bring suggestions. So we did the best we could. So we are not opening for discussion. So it is, if someone raises the hand, it is basically automatically dropped. And then we can have a recommendation that next year we will take this issue.
Okay, I'm in your hands. I just say that I regret it very much. We could try and I think deliver, but we are in your hands, and thank you.
Thank you, Newton, and thank you for your understanding, colleagues. Indeed, I followed the consistency book, the same as Telma. Telma also followed, and we have the joint meeting, Telma, meaning and understanding, Telma and I, that all the issues that have been brought to the conclusions are very important, and then and they have been discussed at the consistency book. So no doubt that this is really a pity that we drop them, but we have no other choice, and we do need your support and understanding. And with this, let me go to paragraph 8C, please.
Yeah, so let me just reinforce, Michael. Let me just say, please understand that we are not opening for comments or discussion. So think twice before raising your hand. Because once you raise the hand, basically the paragraph is dropped. So consider if it is better to drop or to still maintain some guidance to the lead reviewers. These are all important issues. So think that we cannot have the perfection, but see if you can live up with the proposals from Michael and I. As I said, we are not perfect, but unfortunately, we do not have time to discuss. So think twice if this is a text that you can live with, if there are no big errors or inconsistencies. Because once you raise the hand, we will think that we have an error, that we have an inconsistency, and then we will drop the entire paragraph. So please, this is a plea that we are making for, all of you, given the circumstances. So thank you, Michael. Go ahead. Sorry for the interruption.
Yeah, thanks, Telma. You are more than welcome to interrupt anytime you find it appropriate. With what Telma just said, we would like to highlight the importance of paragraph 8c. And having said that, we would like to recall that the most information contained in para 8c comes from the footnote 11 to para 59 of the UNFC guidelines for Annex 1 reporting. Besides, almost all the information have been already highlighted at the 6th lead reviewers meeting, and it has been already agreed there. I don't know, for the sake of time, is it possible or not to show on the screen some abstracts which date back to the 6th lead reviewers meeting, as well as the footnote 11 to paragraph 59, or you may wish to trust us. We, with the assistance of the Secretariat, found these extractions just in order to justify the issues which are highlighted in para 8c. And the importance of para 8c is quite well understood, because these issues are rising from review to review all the time. And that is why we decided to reiterate them and to make them in a logical and structural way, in order that the lead reviewers have a clear guidance on how they are going to treat these difficult issues. Vitor, please advise, is it possible just to show for a few seconds the extracts from the referred decisions and conclusions, or there is no need?
We're ready, so Javier will show it in now. Thank you.
Yes, please. While Javier is showing these extracts, we want to be very clear with my co-facilitator Telma that we believe that no revisions should be made to para 8c, and we would prefer the paragraph to stand as it is, because this is just the repetition and reiteration of the previous decisions in a more structured and streamlined manner. Javier, please. So you see at the screen the footnote 11 to para 59, and it really reads all the issues that are highlighted in paragraph 8c. I can give a couple of, not a couple, just a minute, sorry, just a minute, so that you could read the text. Hope the text is readable, at least I can read it. And then I would ask Javier to scroll to the conclusions of the 6th lead reviewers meeting. Okay, thank you very much, Javier. And with this, the co-facilitator's proposal is to retain the text as it is. And as Telma indicated, we do not have the time to discuss it, so we take it or drop it. Your hands, please.
We see no hands up, Michael, so it's accepted.
Okay, thank you very much for your understanding, colleagues. And with this, we'll move to paragraph 8a, please. So that is the paragraph 8a, and the text that was originally tabled by the BOG and was not fully accepted by the lead reviewers, and we had a lot of the comments on it. And with these, Telma and I discussed how we can improve it. And we would like to table our proposal right now. Can we have the co-facilitators proposal?
Just, Michael, let us 10 seconds just to copy. So take it. Maybe you can take out and copy.
Okay. Okay. While the secretariat is copying, just try to elaborate a little bit on the proposal that we have. During our discussions, we recognized that there are different views. Some of them were of editorial nature, but the majority of the people proposed to delete specific lines from the paragraph. In our view, and we discussed this issue quite substantially, in our view, Telma and I, we feel that the language that is proposed for deletion is quite important. We recall the previous experience of the use of the 2006 guidelines, because we are encountering the same issue again when some document is being used by the parties, but the use of the other methodological document is still pending. And in a view of the experience gained from the previous similar occasions, we drafted the text that is very much follows the way how it was treated previously. And now you can see the tabled proposals from Telma and I as the co-facilitators. Please take a look at it, and if Telma wishes to compliment, if I miss something, Telma, please.
Yes, thank you, Michael. So yes, we did have many comments to delete many parts of the original paragraph. And also many comments regarding comparison between the 2006 guidelines and the 2019 estimates. So this is dropped in terms of comparison. Let's see if without this blue text, the entire paragraph is absolutely insufficient in terms of guidance to lead reviewers. So it's not only a matter of deleting the blue. If the blue is deleted, then the whole paragraph does not make sense because there is no guidance provided. Now, we yesterday discussed that 8A and 8B are related, right? So there is, if we don't agree on this paragraph, that's fine. But then automatically we don't agree with 8B as well, because then we don't have, any guidance to the lead reviewers really. It's just plain text that doesn't give guidance. We think that this is consistent with previous conclusions, and this is why we are proposing. But if A goes, then B goes as well, and then we don't even go into 8B. Okay, so this was the best effort that we could have in terms of a proposal that could meet the deletions that were proposed, as well as still providing some meat for this paragraph. I hope that we have captured at least something that could be guidance to the lead reviewers, but we may be wrong.
Tama, just a request from the chat to clean the document.
Okay.
Yeah. To show a clean version, yes.
Yeah, if you could clean it would be helpful, because I believe that not so many people can see it as a whole. it is a quite important issue, and thanks very much, Telma, for complimenting me. And as Telma indicated, we think that A and B are a sort of a package, although I personally don't like the word package based on my previous experience, but in that case it's really important that you consider the content of the paragraph, because it's really linked to the next paragraph, and if we drop this one, the next will go as well. So please consider, because this is a very valid and very important issue. We believe that the importance of understanding the treatment of the 2019 refinement is increasing. The more parties are using it, the more important clear guidance for the lead reviewers on the way how they are going to address it. And the BOG facilitators, they did their best. If we can,
yes.
Yeah.
I have just one explanation. We had a similar issue when we had the 2006 that was not yet accepted, and people were using the good practice guidance or the 1996. So there, the 6 lead reviewers, we did have a recommendation for that, and this really mirrors the recommendation we had at that time when the 2006 guidelines was not yet adopted by the UNFCCC. So this is an additional explanation that I think helps us understand where we are coming from when we propose this paragraph, this sentence here.
And again, just to reiterate that we took this sentence from the previous conclusions when we faced the same issue and we were about to apply 2006 IPCC guidelines. So nothing is new. This is just the using the same approach as we did in the previous case. And we would kindly ask you to consider the text and see if you can agree with it, because it's quite important. And we believe, given the fact that this is a sort of a BOG common view, that means that we can take it on board.
Yeah, if I just may compliment, it is not exactly, cut and paste from that recommendation. Because during the breakout group discussions, there was the idea that it's not only lower emissions, but you have higher removals. And this is why we included the higher removals here, to be absolutely, open and clear about what has been done with this paragraph. With this sentence, I mean, yeah.
I see Sandro is asking for the floor. I would like to indicate that it is a sort of an exceptional case. As we said from the very beginning, we would refrain from taking different views on the issue because we are really short of time. But if, sorry, I see Telma raising her hand.
Yes, sorry, Sandro, I see that you joined a little bit later. I don't see that you were there when we were giving the instructions for this meeting. And the idea is that we don't open for discussions. So if there is nothing that is really burning wrong, and I don't think there is, because we are reflecting what we had before in the 6th lead reviewers meeting, then I would say that we fear that this whole paragraph is going to be dropped, as well as paragraph 8b. So I ask your indulgence and flexibility with this text, because we are not opening for discussions. We didn't do that with 8f, despite the fact that other people wanted it to be opened, and I don't think that we should be unfair to open this one for discussion. Thank you.
Thanks, Thelma. You are very tough, and I mean, I have been always told that I am quite soft and flexible, and that is good that we have a very tough co-facilitator on the same time, so that you guide me in if I am just going to be in the wrong way. Actually, having heard the words and the explanations provided by Thelma and I, and also having heard the reasons and the rationales which stand behind the proposal, we see that there are diverging views in the chat. So let me take the final attempt. So let me propose to accept paragraph A and B. Not A, not B. We haven't seen B yet. Let me propose to accept A as it currently stands. If there are objections and strong objections on the text of paragraph A, please raise your hands. And as we see that there are hands which are raised, we just drop the paragraph. I see that Newton raised his hand, and I take that this is objection. Any other hands? So are we going?
Don't drop the hands. Let me ask again, Mr. Newton still wants the hand up. Can we ask again? Can we undelete paragraph A, please?
No. I want the paragraph deleted.
Sorry, Newton.
I'm okay with deleting the paragraph.
Okay. No. There is another hand from Kaka Berry. From Kaka.
Okay. So we understand.
He's in chat.
Okay, I see that Marcelo also raised his hand. So we have the objection, and with these, the paragraph A is going to be deleted. Okay, let's move to paragraph B. And as Thelma said, paragraph B is very much related to paragraph A. And so far as we don't have paragraph A, there is no need in keeping paragraph B. Am I right, Thelma? Your microphone, please.
Yes, because we are bringing the same text in blue to B8B. So there is no point of maintaining it here. Michael, let me do this. It's 8:37 in my time, so it's 12:37 there. We have one paragraph to go, which would be D. So let's say the following. If we have time, then we might come back and see if we can still do something with A and automatically with B.
Sorry, Thelma. I'm requesting the hand because I think the process is getting a little bit confused.
Marcelo, sorry. The process is not confused. The process is very clear. We don't have the time to discuss. It's very unfortunate, but we don't have the time for that. So listen, what I'm saying is, what we had as a proposal from the co-facilitator is a reflection of what we had before for the 2006 guidelines when it was not accepted. So it's nothing new. There were many comments to delete many parts of that paragraphs, others to maintain, so it's difficult. So you have to understand the situation as well. So what I am proposing is, let's park these two paragraphs. Let's go to paragraph D. If I may propose that we park these paragraphs, if we have time, we'll come back. Else we delete A and B. Let's go to D.
Okay, following Thelma's proposal, let's scroll to D right now, but just keep in mind that you haven't seen the co-facilitators proposals for B, and probably B can fly, but it is very much unlikely without A. But anyway, we will revisit as Thelma proposed if we have time. Now we have paragraph D. And actually, that is how it was drafted at the very beginning. And you see the shaded in yellow text that was commented by some of the lead reviewers, and also the other shaded in light blue text that was commented by the other lead reviewers. So we had quite a bit of comments on paragraph D, and with these we decided to draft the co-facilitators proposal, and it was drafted very early in the morning today in order to accommodate the concerns expressed during our meeting. I would ask Secretariat to show the proposals from Thelma and I and myself. Yeah, while Secretariat is showing the text, I see the chat, and I do understand the worries of the people expressed and their concerns and regrets. As we indicated from the very beginning, it is a real shame that we cannot agree on what has been proposed by the box. But our previous discussions showed that a lot of people have different opinions, different views, and we cannot find the common ground. We did try to do that the day before yesterday, and we were considering the possibilities, but unfortunately we tried it several times. We have diverging views, and that means that it is very difficult to reach an agreement. Let's try to reach an agreement on the current paragraph. You can see the proposals that are tabled by Thelma and myself in a view the comments received and our attempt to accommodate the comments. We do believe that there are some language that really concerns the lead reviewers, and we try to somehow replace the concerning language with another text, as well as to accommodate the concerns expressed by the lead reviewers during our initial reading. So please look at the text and decide whether it accommodates your views or we cannot reach an agreement with it. Your hands, please.
There are no hands up.
So can we take that we agree on this text as it proposed by the co-facilitators?
Can we clean it, Mikhail?
Yeah, I think yes. I don't see any hands, and Telma also confirms that the people are generally fine with the text as it currently stands. Okay, at least we have something. One paragraph of five remaining has been agreed. That's great. Anyway, we have 16 minutes left, and we believe that we haven't shown the proposals for 8B. We have dropped 8F. We have agreed on 8C and on 8D. So with your indulgence, I will show the proposal for 8B for the time being.
No.
I see Telma raising her hand.
Yes, please. No. Let's see. So we already agreed on C and D. We deleted F, and so my proposal for the remaining time. Let's try to, because A and B are related. If we fix A, we will automatically fix B in my vision. So let's give a trial in A and see if we still can save something from there. But I am absolutely sure that, you know, without the blue part or something that replaces it, the rest of the test is does not provide significant guidance to lead reviewers. So please bear in mind that many people asked for the deletions of parts of this text. And this is what we have done, because there are not only one, but there are several. And we tried to reflect here the language of the 2006 guidance in the 6 lead reviewers. So with that, we are going to try to listen. And to be fair, I think that Sandro, we should give the word to Sandro. Let's try to fix. And if we don't succeed, A and B go away. So that's my proposal. So we have to be very objective in the proposal. Very objective. Sandro?
Telma, I don't want to have an exception. In my view, A and B, they deal with two different things. One is up-to-date guidance, fully consistent with the 2006, and the other is with old, so less accurate guidance, and not even consistent, at least not completely to the 2006. So, in my view, the packaging was something strange, and that's it. Thank you. But anyhow, let's keep a continue. Let's conclude this meeting. I hope next year we will meet, so we will do something better than to run in this way. Thank you.
No, it's okay. If I may, Michael, then let's delete paragraph A. I might have been wrong. Delete paragraph A as had been initially proposed, and let's try paragraph B. Okay.
To be clear, I'm not asking the deletion of paragraph A. I'm happy with the text as revised. Thank you.
Thank you. So I am going to be propositive here. Newton and Marcelo had asked the floor, and in particular, Newton raised his hand against this paragraph. Newton, can you explain why you want the deletion of the paragraph?
Yes, I'm not totally comfortable with it, and but I have a very process. I think that paragraph 8F was deleted without discussion, think paragraph 8F is very important and could be easily fixed. So I don't know why we go back to paragraph 8A without discussing 8F. So if we are deleting paragraph 8F, I want to delete paragraph A and B.
Okay, thank you, Newton. With this, I propose deletion of A, B, and F, and that's it. And then we have a proposal for a 8Bs, which sends these issues to the next year lead reviewers. And that's my proposal. Michael, it's up to you now. It's my view.
Thanks, Telma.
Telma, sorry, Michael. Do you want us to show your text there, or that's your proposal?
Actually, what I was going to propose with indulgence of Telma, just to show the text that we have drafted so that our work is not lost. But we keep in mind the strong views of the lead reviewers that B won't be able to fly given the deletion of A and F. And we believe that the lead reviewers are not going to change their mind. But anyway, we are just going to show B on the screen as has been drafted. But still, we think that it is unlikely that the lead reviewers will be able to agree on the text in a view that those who have indicated their objection withdraw their objection, but it's very much unlikely indeed. So could you just show the text if Telma allows?
Yes, please. No, we are doing this together. So to be fair, I think that yes, we should open the paragraph 8B because we have not even given a chance to it. But because we have the same blue text in B, it's basically an automatic deletion. But anyway, I think we should be fair and open 8B for consideration.
So 8B, the proposal drafted by Telma and myself is on the screen. We are mindful that there have been already some objections to paragraph B, and as we indicated, unless the people who raised their hands against paragraph B withdraw their objections, it might be a hope that paragraph B survives. But I'm just looking at the time.
Mikhail, there was again from the floor requests to show the paragraph clean, as clean as possible, so they
yes,
can read it.
Yeah, of course, you may wish to clean. I'm just looking at the time and we have only 8 minutes left, so we can just leave the people to look at it, and I can make a final try. So if the people are against B, they need just to raise their hands. And of course, we indeed apologize to be so pushing, but we're living under unique conditions, and we do hope for your understanding. And of course, we cannot allow ourselves to have the lengthy discussions on different issues. We had the discussions yesterday, we had the discussions the day before yesterday. We did our best in accommodating the viewers, and we relied on the box facilitators who did a very good job. And again, I would like to emphasize that it's a pretty unfavorable situation. It's a great shame that we are losing the products that have been prepared by the deserved people and dedicated lead reviewers who tried in the best way to accommodate the views of the bogs, and it's again it's a real regret to lose them, but I mean we have no other choice. Anyway, any views on paragraph B as it currently stands? Yeah, I see Newton.
So that's okay. So I understand that the same issue that Newton has in A, he has in B. We are not opening for discussion. So let's, it's very unfortunate, but we have to drop both A and B. We have 4 minutes left.
Sorry. Otherwise, Newton, are you going to insist on deleting B?
Do I have the floor?
Yes, please.
Yes, I do not agree entirely with the text in blue. I understand it comes from, well, similar to what we had in our legal review number 6, I believe. I don't think it makes sense. The fact that we have decided similar language in the past do not justify that we repeat the error here. I don't really think we, I don't know why accordance with 2006 IPC guidelines in this sense, and I don't think we need to stress the issue when an underestimation of emissions or underestimation of removal accurate go both away. So I cannot agree with this sentence. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. So you can see that we don't have the joint view on paragraph B. And with these, we understand it as our understanding that the people are unhappy with the co-facilitators proposals on A and B, and also on F. And we are going to lose these 3 paragraphs from the draft conclusions. Okay, so I would say that it's really a shame, because at least in my understanding, and I think Telma supports me, that these 3 paragraphs were a sort of a core elements of the consistency part of the conclusions. In our view, it is very important to have a clear guidance for the forthcoming reviews, in effect that these issues are going to be raised again and again, because we cannot stop the methodological advances, we cannot stop the science, and that means that we are getting to the new guidance, and we are getting to use them. And of course, it would be very important that the lead reviewers have a clear view on how they are going to use them. At the moment, we don't have the clear view among us, and this is demonstrated by the discussions that we had on paragraphs A and also on the other paragraphs. It's a shame, and I am quite open and sincere on that. And we did try, and we did our best in order to agree. But we do hope that the issues are not lost. And as Telma indicated, we would like probably to see for any options that we can retain the importance of the paragraphs that have been currently lost. And I've noticed the chat and the people are keen of taking these issues on board in the future discussions. So, Telma, or probably, what are your views on that?
Okay, so yeah, there is not much we can do. I think that the process has been, difficult. I mean, the process is not what we desire, but this is the first experience that we have with this virtual meeting. So we were able, from all the number of pages that we had, we have only, 3 paragraphs. Obviously, all of them extremely relevant, but we could not agree in, 3 elements of a paragraph. So I think that we still achieved a lot. We could have done better. We can always do better. But given the circumstances and the very unusual, this is an exceptional process in the terms that this is not the rule. This is really, the exception. So it's very unfortunate that we don't have at the same time 5-6 hours that we have been bound to discuss this. We tried to accommodate and give a fair, go with sending for comments. We received the comments. We even took late comments. We did the best we could. So I'm very sorry that we could not, achieve more. And I see there are lots of concerns with the process. There is a lot of concerns that, significant paragraphs could not be reached. But that's, that's the unfortunate situation that we find ourselves in. So I'm very sorry if we have been tough. We tried our best. Michael and I barely slept to try to bring proposal, but that's fine. I mean, it's our views, but yeah, we have 83 people with us at this moment, so it's very hard. So I think that. We anticipated that this could happen, and then we would propose that we have an 8-bis chapeau included, which would say that these discussions are not lost, and that we should take them in the next lead reviewers meeting. So with that, I think that it's the more we can do. I see that one of the facilitators of the breakout group is asking for. Pippa is asking for the floor, but as Pippa, many others also would like to take the floor.
I have a question for you, Thelma.
Yes.
8-bis will be 8-bis, or will be an addition to the?
Yes. Can we see what we would have in terms of asking?
We'll write it here. We put it here, and then you decide where to place it. Yeah.
Okay. But in the meanwhile, while you are putting the text, can we allow Pepper to talk, or we have no time? Tell me, what is your view? Can Pepper is asking for the floor?
I think. I mean, probably if not in a paragraph, I think you have to listen also to what they say.
Yeah. So many people want to take the floor. Yeah, I mean, I can understand their frustration. I would be frustrated myself. Let me just fix this before we give the word to Pepper. So I see 2 things here, Victor. I see 8. Which the guidance and procedures which we have agreed was on C, was on D. So we have two of the elements have been agreed, right? So we have pending A, B, and F. So these 8Bs would apply to those elements of this paragraph 8. So how do we split this? Because we maintain, in my view, what we have in 8 for paragraphs that have been agreed, C and D. And then take the other ones to the next meeting. Yeah.
I was just wondering if you want to make a reference to the to the materials from this meeting, or this is not relevant?
Let me ask if we see what materials we're referring to. So
The
Vitor is
paper.
asking if
The
we
background
can.
paper.
Yes, okay. So Vitor is saying, can we make also reference to the background material that we had for this meeting? Is there any objection to that? To make a reference to the background material that was that supported the breakout groups. Any objection? I see no objection, so yes, that's fine, Vitor.
Yeah, adding some language like taking consideration the materials prepared for the.
Yeah. Prepared for, yeah. Okay.
For the 17th, yeah, for the 17th meeting.
So is there any objection with the formulation of 8bis? We see no hand. We see no hands up. So that's fine. So I think that from us, I think that is all we could achieve. Vitor, you said that Pepa is asking for the floor. Yes, I'm fine with that, but I hope that doesn't prevent others also from speaking. So that's my concern. It's up to you, Michael. Go ahead.
Yeah, thanks. So I see Pepper, and I also see Helen. Helen and Pepper, are you going to talk on paragraph 8bis?
Yes.
My understanding. So I think Pepper was first and followed by Helen on paragraph 8bis. But again, as soon as you take the floor, I would kindly ask you not to discuss the editorial issues for this paragraph, because this will be taken by the Secretariat. And I note that we are almost 5 minutes ahead of the time. So I would kindly ask you to be concise and brief. With this, Peppa, followed by Helen, please.
Thank you, Mikhail. No, I am not going to discuss. I wanted just to avoid next time to have this same situation so disappointing. I just wanted to clarify that these were 9 issues that the lead reviewers identified as something important to look at solution for, because the ERTs didn't know what to do or what to check when we had this situation, and because there were also inconsistencies in the review reports dealing differently for the same issue. And I wanted just to clarify that and say that the proposed solutions are not coming from anywhere, are always text from the UNFCCC reporting guidelines, from the UNFCCC review guidelines, from the 2006 IPCC guidelines, and for the previous conclusions of the lead reviewers meetings. So it's a little bit disappointing that we rediscuss things, guidance that we received, but that we needed to have it again because the problems were there during the 2019 review cycle. So for next year, I will ask all my colleagues to prepare the meetings and to prepare the justification of removing solutions and proposing alternative solutions. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Pepper. And this is understanding of Thelma and myself, that these are the really burning issues. And as we said, we really regret that we're not able to agree on them. And that is why we're proposing this paragraph to not to lose anything. With this, Helen, please.
Thank you, Michael. And mine is a process question, and I think it's been answered in the chat that we don't have A, B, and F, but we have the issues themselves identified, because this means nothing the way that it's written now. But I understand that the actual issue will be listed rather than A, B, and F, so that's absolutely fine. Thank you. And I think it would be quite good to note in the conclusions that the meeting was held under extraordinary circumstances, and even so managed to come up with some real substance that will make a difference to the process. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Helen. I think that the lead reviewers agree with the proposal by Helen, and personally I think that a secretariat can find appropriate words in taking this on board, and I would trust secretariat on this particular issue. Toma?
Yes, can we put the issues in an annex? So I don't know, we might see what's the best way to reflect that these the issues that were pending.
Helen, you have the floor again. Are you asking for the floor again?
No, I'm not.
Okay. Oh, sorry, because we see your hand up. Sorry about it.
That's okay.
I have a question, Selma. What your suggestions to copy to annex? Because I think if we can add after A on 2019 refinements, and I think it's very clear what does it mean. So I don't think we need a. I don't know if there was it's a short text.
Yeah. Just to clarify what the issue is. Yes. I think that was what Helen also asked, not to leave as, A, B, but, indicate what the issue is. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Although I see some other requests for the floor, and particularly I see the request by Sekai and some other colleagues. With your indulgence, I see that we're already 10 minutes ahead of the time, and we have got very strong instructions on keeping the timeline to avoid any consequences and the problems. With your indulgence, could I ask you to withdraw your hands, because we have exhausted our time, unless you have very extremely important issues to raise. I see that you have withdrawn your hands. Thanks very much. We do appreciate your understanding and your flexibility, and I believe that this brings us to an end of our meeting, and with this I will just would like to thank all of you for your understanding, for your patience, and indeed I need to apologize for being so pushing you, and also that's of course an unfavorable situation that we are currently facing, but that's life, and we need to be like that. And with this, I just give a word to Thelma.
Thanks, Michael. I just want to thank everybody, really, by heart. Achieving what we have achieved is just an achievement, and only possible with everyone's understanding. I know we are leaving frustrated. Many of you are frustrated. We are frustrated as well. We wished we could have everything, agreed, but unfortunately, we were not able to do that. That's fine. We sometimes, even in presentially, we are not able to do that. Yeah, we have faced this before. So let me, really thank the facilitators for the breakout groups. They have been fantastic. They have tried their best. They worked so hard to put the draft conclusions of the breakout groups together. So, dearly, my thanks to them as facilitators in this very, very hard job. I want to thank the Secretariat also for having supported Michael and I during this process. And my, dear friend Michael, that have been with me, during this, this process. I don't know every time we accept, but I mean, it's becoming increasingly more difficult. So we have to thank everybody for really enduring with us, and sorry for being tough at times, but I mean, I think we really achieved a lot. So let me thank everybody really, and hope to see everybody next year presentially, where you can blame us for not having, achieved the 3 elements of paragraph 8 as we we could have. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Also, I see Vitor, who is looking at us. I just joined to share all thanks to all of you, and also to Talma and to Secretariat for assisting us, for joining us during days and nights of discussions. And we do apologize if something is not very good. But anyway, that's life. Thank you very much, and bless you, and take care. Vitor.
Yeah, just thank you, Michael, and thank you, Telma. Slight disagreement with you, Michael. The meeting is not over. So you conclude the discussions on conclusions and recommendations, but the meeting, I'm saying that the meeting was not over. There's some homework to do. Regarding the meeting, I understand your position, and from the beginning was very clear that the meeting has the time constraints, and have let's remember, people in different time zones. They're not in the same. Maybe they have the full day of work, and now they're going coming to the meeting. So I think we have to take this in considerations. That's the remote meeting, and I also think it's important that in the beginning the expectations were for considerations and doing our best to have. And I think with the 5 pages, I don't know how many pages you have. I think it's impressive what you have achieved. In terms of the breakout groups, yes, they have achieved more, and then maybe something could have been taken. But again, there's the time constraints, and that's the best we can do. We cannot stay like in Bonn until 8 o'clock or 2 a.m. That will be impossible for people to stand. Maybe, and next year is very close. It's very close. So I think it went very well. Maybe there's some people would like more. Yes, but what can you do given the circumstances? This is an exceptional situation. That's maybe also important to notice that in-person meetings are important. Yes. So I would, but anyway, we'll collect our views from this meeting. For us, is also important for other meetings, and we thank you you all for the time and for the patience to watch the presentations in the beginning. And for the availabilities, I know that Thelma and Marta, the co-facilitators, they have to get up quite early. That was also quite difficult, and so and on behalf of the team, also it's myself and Javier, Roman, Tina, and Kirsten, and Claudia. I will thank you very much for the time, and also for the. I think we also have some discussion. It was very friendly discussions, and I think you didn't You didn't annoy us at all. It was a pleasure. It was a pleasure communicating with you. It was a real pleasure. And yes, so thank you very much. So in addition to that, I would, if you want, you can bring your you can bring your camera, and then you can take pictures for the others. And in addition, now the final, we have two things. The first one is, unfortunately, one very important person in this process has been organizing meetings also for many years, is Katia Simeonova. And she's not available because she's traveling for, not on mission, that's not possible, but for personal reasons. So, and that's, but she would like to say she would like to say a few words, and not from the plane, but that's not yet possible. So we made the recording, and we like to show the recording. And after the recording, we would like to have a additional. The recording is quite short, and then it's another topic that we like to bring. So Tina, if you can show first Katia, and let's try. I don't know if it's going to work.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, everybody. This brings us to the end of the lead reviewers meeting, and it's time to reflect briefly on how we met the objectives that we set for the meeting at the very beginning. So first of all, I hope that you would share my own assessment that similarly to the lead reviewers meeting of biennial reports and national communications that were held at the beginning of June, the 17th meeting of the lead reviewers of the GHG Inventory is a historic meeting. This is a historic meeting not only because this was the first lead reviewers meeting of GHG Inventory conducted virtually and hopefully the last one, but also because you engaged in important discussions and delivered ambitious conclusions that will help to steer the way forward in the review process. Then, regarding meeting of the objectives of the meeting, on my view, they were fully achieved because, firstly, the meeting helped you to continue to play the important role in the review process that is framed consistently in review guidelines under the Convention, the Kyoto Protocol, and the Paris Agreement. Secondly, the meeting also helped to continue to build the team spirit of our lead reviewers community. That is essential to inspire and empower all participants in the review process. The delivery of the meeting is particularly important in the times when the world is constrained by the COVID pandemics, and when each and every action and effort, big and small, to deal with climate change counts. I see the delivery at this meeting as a clear contribution from the lead reviewers community to the noble objective to deal with climate emergency, which, according to our UN Secretary General, threatens our security, our livelihoods, and our lives. I'm very much looking forward to your participation and continuous leadership in the reviews this year and beyond. And I remain optimistic that the possibility to have in-person reviews this year is not close. Thank you very much again for your active participation and engagement, and many thanks to my wonderful team, in particular to Vitor, Javier, Roman, Claudia, Tina, Lisa, Shuhong, Kyoko, Pedro, for organizing this meeting in an exemplary manner. Special thanks also go to the external speakers, Gao, Roberta, Sandro, and Francesco, to our support facilitators, Dario, Olia, Marta, Yanis, Michael, and Thelma, and last but not least to Claudia, Peppa, and Klaus in preparing the background papers. Now it's time to say goodbye and see you soon in the virtual reality and perhaps in person sometime in the second half of the year. Thank you.
So thank you. Well, thank you, Katia. And if you have any questions, please don't don't ask, because I don't think that's we still don't have this possibility. So I'm sorry for that. Maybe in a few minutes meetings. And finally, our intention in our original intention, it was to have a kind of a special event when the meeting was in person, because we did some calculations, rough calculations with I think with some level of uncertainty, and I think this is about 20 years or 2 decades of the review process. So it started 20 years ago, and we would like to commemorate. Yeah, it's difficult to commemorate at a distance. So the way that we foresee is 2 things. First, we invited some people that were part of our world in previous times, and then they decided to move. And then it was Tinos, Roberto. We saw yesterday Astrid, and Rocio, many other people that were part. They were briefly yesterday because Astrid was not available today, and Tinos is he available today? Astrid, is here? Okay, welcome, Astrid. And then Tinos is also traveling. He sends his regards, and he says that he prefers to see you live in Bonn. So maybe next year. And finally, I think maybe you forgot, but we ask I think all of you to provide, or I think to review officer, I don't remember, if they could have some experience, and they have their experiences. This is graphical experiences, and so they send some elements from the review, some reports from the review, and that's how we're going to end our meeting. We're going to show these reportings and to show. You're going to see that there is one element of the team that contributed more than others, and you're going to see by counting what the appearance in the compilations. And you can see that he joined the secretariat probably just after kindergarten. But yes, thank you very much. And this completes the meeting. And I hope to see you in the early next year here in Bonn, or maybe in a virtual world. Who knows? So thank you. Bye bye. And Tina, sorry, Tina showed the No.
Victor. Robert. Good. Ooh, okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye,
Bye.
Thelma.
Bye.
Bye,
Bye.
everybody.
Bye.
Ciao.
Till we meet again. Bye.
Bye.
Bye everyone. Thank you.